गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. We are in Amrutanubhava, chapter 7, Ajnana Khandana, ignorance denied, and we are, where are we?
(183) finished, Swamiji.
183 is not finished. 183, we are in the commentary.
Okay.
Oh, or have we completed it? We completed it?
Yes, Swamiji.
Okay, in the language of the Panchadashi, the expression of pure consciousness as Triputi is Ishvara Dvaita. There is nothing to worry about that. But after having created the seer seen seeing, when identification with any aspect of the Triputi takes place, then the Jiva Dvaita is born, which is the root cause of all the miseries of life, of miseries of the Jiva. So who is the Jiva? I am asking, who is the Jiva?
Who is identified with Triputi.
The one who is identified with the Triputis. Anna? Not just the Triputi, Triputis. So, in each Triputi, only the subject can only appear once with reference to an object, isn't it? And then it goes away with the object when the object and subject both go away. But an illusory continuity is imagined, and that is the ego. And the reflected consciousness identifies with that the continuity and forgets that it is the original, that it is the infinite one, and starts accepting itself as the individual, as only this body or only this person, etc., etc. And then it was told, now it is told, now Jnaneshwar Maharaj gives expression to a unique thought. The moment the eyes of pure consciousness close, the world is manifested while the world disappears when he opens his eyes. What a wonder indeed. So what is happening here? When the Paramatma closes his eyes, the world appears, and when he opens his eyes, the world disappears. So what is this? Pataya pate mile ki drashtatva saindhav paghale tiye unmalita mavale navalavo. The moment one eyelid touches the other, the plurality of the seer seen is born. When the eyes open, the seer disappears. What a wonder indeed. The moment Jnana Drishti opens, Jnana Drishti, the vision of knowledge, the moment Jnana Drishti opens, the plurality disappears. Meaning what here? The moment, this is the Drishti which Arjuna got from Krishna in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So with the normal eyes, he could not see the reality. And what did he want? He wanted to see what are the various manifestations of the Lord. Instead of going through one by one, he wanted it all in one go, in that example. And the Lord said, with these eyes you will not be able to see. I'll have to give you jnana chakshu, divine vision. So same way, drishti is vision, divine vision. And with that, what happens? The moment the divine vision opens, is inaugurated, that very moment, all duality and multiplicity disappears. And the moment the divine vision goes away, the multiplicity appears. So we are not talking about the physical eyes. We are talking about in other words, the third eye, if you want to put it that way, the jnana chakshu. And thus the truth can be comprehended by only one method, namely by dropping the relative perception, by dropping our strong individuality, by having the quality of liquidity of water, accommodating any shape. And this is what our meditation was today, that how everything is pure consciousness. That pure consciousness, that infinite water, has the possibility of taking any shape, anytime, anywhere, without losing anything of itself. It appears as wave, it manifests or appears as wave, and the water doesn't lose anything in that manifestation. Similarly, the pure consciousness that I am, this waters of consciousness, or we can take one step down from that consciousness, this mind that I am, this infinite ocean of mind, which is nothing but pure consciousness, in that consciousness, whether thoughts of relativity appear and disappear, the pure consciousness, the substratum, does not change. It ever remains the same. There is no reduction in it. So, and it is the pure consciousness alone, just like the mind alone is taking out of the mind, only all the shapes in the dreams have come about. Understand? Out of the mind only all the shapes have come. Out of the mind only all the names and forms have come. Out of the mind only the space, air, fire, water, earth have come, etc., etc. You can keep adding the list. And what is mind? Nothing but pure consciousness. So that pure consciousness has the ability to take any form, anywhere, at any time, at any place, and so on. Now, don't take this as only a principle. Take it as a principle, but apply it on yourself. That I am the pure consciousness, and this entire world of name and form is nothing but the glory or the vibhuti of the truth that is my essence. And keep taking that position again and again, and keep looking at everything and as we said in the meditation, everything that you know in this world is by way of thought, and every thought is nothing but the material that goes into any thought is nothing but pure consciousness. Just like wave is nothing but infinite waters, similarly, the thought wave is nothing but infinite pure consciousness that I am. Don't forget that part. Otherwise, it will become a concept. By having the quality of liquidity of water, accommodating any shape, to the student that all the sharp angles of one's personality are blunted, to that extent does the hard individuality gets softened and mellowed. And this individual, that I am a man, I am a woman, I am a businessman, I am a a professional, I am an IT person, I am a doctor, I am so many years old, and I have got I got I'm I'm the husband of this woman, and I'm the father of these children. All this data keeps strengthening our individuality. The more we associate with names and forms, to that extent our individuality concretizes. The more we come to what we showed you in the meditation today, keep thinking about it again and again. Contemplate that how one consciousness alone is pervading every thought. Your individuality starts dissolving, starts melting away. You don't have to worry about melting. It will start. How, you will ask? How does it melt away? Just like where your individuality melts away when you go to sleep every day. You don't do anything. You only think about, want to merge with the sleep. And in that process, all multiplicity, all duality, which was propping up the individuality, or conversely, that consciousness which was identified with all the variety. Now, if that variety is slowly become null and void, it is receding, it is dissolving away from your awareness. Now the consciousness has got nothing to associate with. It is happening naturally because your focus is on sleep. Similarly, in the meditation also, or anywhere where you are going, be aware of the conscious principle in that, like you are focused right now. You are focused right now on the satsang and everything that is going on around you there, and whatever is there in the room around you, wherever you are sitting, has got no impact on you because you are focused here. And whatever, if it at all demands attention, you will say, another 1 hour, then we will think about it. Then I'll address it. Same thing you do in meditation also. Whatever comes to disturb you, I'll deal with it afterwards. Right now, leave me alone. Right now, I'm focused on what I'm doing. See? When we stand before the Lord's shrine, we close our eyes to have the darshan. When the external eyes are closed, the internal eyes open. When the external eyes are closed, relativity is accepted only as relativity, and relativity is accepted as Paramatma and not an illusion. In other words, when we are standing in front of the Lord in a temple or at our altar, this is everyone's experience, whether it is church, whether it is masjid, whether it is a temple, anywhere. We close our eyes. And in that closing of our eyes, Swamiji is telling here, the first thing that happens is relativity is accepted as relativity. We know the truth is, the substratum is everywhere. We may know, we may not know, but we know the place to access that substratum is within. That's why we close the eyes. That's why we close. We can't take that statue inside us. Only as a form it can go in. See? So we knowingly or unknowingly know that the divinity is within. The substratum is within. The tranquility is within. Second part, So in that process of closing our eyes, we give, Swamiji says here, we accept relativity as relativity. When the individuality is strong, then we accept the relativity as reality. That is where the problem is. We take the names and forms to be the reality. But when same world, same name and form, in the form of a deity, in the form of a temple, we go there, we don't try to go and become one with the statue. With the food, we want to become one with it. With our partner, we want to become one with it. With the clothes, we want to become one with it. With different parts of the world which we have not seen, we want to go and become one with it. But when it comes to the deity, we don't want to. We don't go and hug the photograph of the Lord. We look at the photograph of the Lord and close our eyes. Isn't it? Because somewhere we know it is our nature. When we stand before the Lord's shrine, we close our eyes to have the darshan. When the external eyes close, the internal eyes open. When the external eyes are closed, the relativity is accepted only as relativity. Relativity is accepted as Paramatma and not an illusion. Then what do you mean by that? When the inner vision opens up, it allows us to, or it presents to us how all the names and forms are nothing but the reality. This is the result of the inner eye opening. The physical eye keeps giving validity to multiplicity. This versus that, man versus woman, duality is maintained. Like versus dislikes, north versus south, inside versus outside, sweet versus sour. But when we come inside, when the inner eye opens, then all this duality melts away. So then what happens? Then eyes are seeing all the variety, but no distinction is created in the mind. This is very funny. That variety is being perceived, but there is no person there to accept the variety. Perceiver is not there. Feelings are coming, but the feeler is not there. Concepts are coming in the mind, but the conceptualizer is not there. What will it be like? It will be like, again, I'm taking the example, when you go to sleep. You can hear sounds, but you give them zero value. You are seeing in that half sleep, half awake mode, just about to dive into sleep. Some door opens, something happens in that slight open eye, half open eyes, you see around and everything, but nothing is registering. The pull from the sleep is so much that you are not ready to get disturbed by the variety or multiplicity, because the pull from inside is so much for sleep. Similarly, when we contemplate on the pure consciousness in that manner, with that same intensity, with that same surrender as for sleep, then it will pull, because that's our nature. And automatically all the multiplicity of the world starts losing impact on us, because we are not available to it. Who are we available to then? We are available to our own essential nature. See? And at that time, just about before sleeping or before meditation or samadhi, Everything is being known, but now it does not matter, and we don't have to go into samadhi by closing our eyes. How does a Mahatma live? In this world only. He is with his eyes open, but he is in samadhi. Why? How come? The world is not able to make an impact on him. He is not identified with any name and form. He is identified, he is completely 100% in tune with the consciousness that he is. And that is the inner eye opening. And what does it? And for that, he does not have to close his eyes or open his eyes. If the eyes are open, he sees everything as the pure consciousness. When the eyes are open, closed, he is available to himself. When he opens his eyes, he sees all the variety as the vibhuti of that one, vibhuti of the self or the vibhuti of the Paramatma. This must come about in our disposition. That is why Vaikhari Madhyama Pashyanti Para. When you come to Para, then this starts happening. In fact, it starts happening before only. Just before Pashyanti, all this transformation starts taking place. But then we have to do that hard work of chanting the name. Just wishing that it must happen, it will not happen. Because it is always happening, but you are not available to it. Now you have to become available to it. We are not available to it. So what is being told here is our natural disposition. But somewhere in this natural disposition, we have forgotten our natural disposition and accepted ourselves as one of the relative objects. And that is individuality. I am one object. I am this body only. And I am separate from the reality. And now I want to do sadhana to become one with the reality. Here, Jnaneshwar Maharaj, in his height of realization, is penning down or narrating his experience. And he says, when the inner eye opens only under certain conditions. You have to be synchronized. There should be no adulteration of the outside. There should be no adulteration of the name and form. Then third eye will open. See? And that you can bring about by Nam Japa. You can bring it about. It can come about by listening in satsang. It can come about by Kundalini Abhyas. It can come about by Kriya Yoga. It can come about by Ashtanga Yoga. It can come about by Tratak. So many paths are there for this inner eye opening. All that is required is nivritti from the multiplicity, withdrawal from the multiplicity, and focus on the unifying principle with understanding, not mechanically. Then alone is it possible to respect and accept everyone without logic, without cause, without reason. She is my wife, therefore I accept her as my Ardhangini. I don't have a wife. Where is my Ardhangini? Where is my Ardhangini? These are children born from my wife, therefore I am the father of these children. I don't have a Ardhangini, I don't have children. Then what do I do? I am a lost cause. Or do I transform myself into the father of all children? Don't extend that. Husband of all wives. Don't do that. So expansion of this is, I'm just giving one example, father of all children. Meaning, in other words, your vision expands to accept one and all without any judgment, without any biasness. And what is that disposition? That disposition is that everything and everyone is not other than the pure consciousness that I am. The words have their limitations in explaining this. See? But that is our fulfillment. That is why we are here as human beings. Not for any other purpose. This vision that Jnaneshwara Maharaj is giving us is not Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Be very clear. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Jagat is not Mithya. What did we say before also? That Jagat is Nama Roop, and Nama Roop is the Vibhuti of the Brahma, is the glory of the reality. So what are we saying? That the Nama Roop, the waves, are not Mithya. They are Vibhuti of the water. The ornaments are Vibhuti of the gold. So all the names and forms are the Vibhuti of the Paramatma. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya, but it is the Brahma Satyam Jagat Satyam. Jagat is also Satyam as existence. But where does the problem come? When we get attached to Jagat. Any aspect of the Jagat we get attached to, then it becomes a problem. Everything is Sat only in the world. So where will you catch Sat? Outside? No, you have to catch the Sat within. And that's what the meditation was today. That the whole world is Asti Bhati Priya Nama Roop, and Nama Roop is the Vibhuti of the Asti Bhati Priya, means Satchidanand Swarup Paramatma. And the technology there we gave, which Jnaneshwar Maharaj is only given, the whole world of names and forms is known by you by way of thoughts. And thoughts are in the mind. Thoughts cannot exist without the consciousness. Mind is nothing but pure consciousness. With reference to thoughts, it is called as mind. So pure consciousness is the material that has gone into all the thoughts. So are we saying that the pure consciousness versus thoughts? Then pure consciousness becomes one thing and thoughts become another thing. Nitya, Anitya. Here we are going beyond Nitya, Anitya. Even these two words, Jnaneshwar Maharaj said, Nitya is used only to cancel Anitya in one of the chapters. And that is to show that everything is one only. You are imagining the two. This is the wonderful expression of the Paramatma. He is the wonder of wonders, Ascharyavat. When this wonderful thing happens, that wonder happens for which there is nothing to wonder about. Whenever there is an interaction in an experience of the nature and magnitude that one is unable to dissolve the seer-seen difference, then the relative perception is very strong between I, the seer, versus not I, the seen. Huh? I, the seer, Nitya, and not I, the seen, Anitya. The seen. If on the other hand, one is able to participate in the world, but none of the experiences leave a dent on the mind, then one is not bound by the world. One has transcended the relative experience. Meaning, don't give undue importance to any experience of the world. And the moment I say any experience of the world, you'll say, in this world. No, no. Waking world, dream world, deep sleep. All the three, don't give undue importance. Then people will declare you mad. Be ready for it. Therefore, the truth can be known only when the objectification of the subject is dropped. So, what do you mean by objectification of the subject? How does the subject objectify? Tell me. How does the subject objectify? It is said when one has to drop the objectification of the subject. What do you understand by it?
Objectification is formed by giving importance to name and form. And by not getting influenced by the name and form is subject, like just being the subject.
Okay, I have given up my body form from my mind. I have given up many other things. That I am a man, I am a woman, I am a father, I am a mother, I am a brother, I am a sannyasi, I am a grahastha. All these things I have dropped. Then has the subject become free of objectification? I'm asking.
No.
Why?
Because it will have so many. It's you are not concentrating on the infinite. You are concentrating on the finite. The finite keep coming.
No, so I have dropped it. I dropped the finite world. I have dropped. I'm not giving importance. Has the objectification of the subject dissolved? Not very difficult. When the subject is accepted as an object of contemplation, who are you? I am. You have objectified the subject. The fact that you are calling yourself I itself is objectification of the eternal subject. You understand what I am saying? So, even though objects are not there, but now you have made I into the object, and therefore you are searching for yourself. है ना मजा? So we have become smart. Our mind is smart. Oh, I have dropped all the objects. Meditation में बैठे हैं. But now you are objectifying the I and still searching for the truth that you are. So therefore here it is saying what is said here? Therefore the truth can be known only when the objectification of the subject is dropped. For this the Mahavakyas are given. I am Atma Brahma, Tattvamasi, you are that, Aham Brahmasmi, Prajnanam Brahma. That this I is of the nature of knowledge, this Atma is, I am of the nature of Atma. And when your attention goes to something more expansive, Then you are that. What is that X factor? That Brahman, you are that. You, the Atma that you are, you have accepted yourself. That Atma is that Brahman. This individuality, which was with reference to objects, is being told, you are that self. Tattvamasi is the Mahavakya. The student understands, then he says, Aham Brahmasmi, Aham Brahmasmi. But if he keeps saying he understands the teacher, he understands the Mahavakyas, and he is convinced that I am of the nature of Brahman, but still he is thinking objectively. This is objectification of the self. He is still thinking he has to reach somewhere. He is still thinking that he is incomplete. He still is thinking that he has to do something in order to realize. And therefore, it is said here that only when the objectification of the subject is dropped, the pure subject that I is cannot be known. So, when the objectification drops, when you stop thinking of the I as I and just be, then it happens. And in that happening, there is no, there is nothing to be known. Then there is no withdrawal. Then there is no abidance. We use these words only for our communication purpose. Who is going to abide in whom? You are already that. Who is going to withdraw from what? Everything is a vibhuti of the pure consciousness alone. So what are you going to withdraw from? Can water withdraw from any wave? Think about it. Can water withdraw from the wave? So a total flip over is required, somersaulting in your mind, the way you look at things. And so here he is saying, do not objectify the I also. But the pseudo subject that is suffering and getting agitated is born every moment with reference to its opposite counterpart, the object. So because you have unclutched yourself, because you have given up the importance to the objects, because you have stopped thinking about I as the I and are just being, that does not mean that the eyes will not see, the ears will not hear, the tongue will not taste, the mind will not think. This will go on. But as much as that object is relative, to that extent the subject is also relative in the mind, in the making up of the triad. The object is also relative. The I associated with the object is also relative. That object is also a thought. The I is also a thought. Let the mind think. Don't associate. Don't identify. Don't be influenced. Where is our attention? Our attention is on the substratum. On that I can't even say I am the substratum. You are being the substratum. And you are not creating the substratum versus the thoughts. You are not doing that. You are not creating, you are not fighting subject versus object. When we do analysis and we say, neti, I am not this, I am not this, I am not this, Shankaracharya Paddhati, then it becomes subject versus object, isn't it? Kshetra versus kshetrajna. The field and the knower of the field, isn't it? Here what are we saying? The field and the knower of the field are nothing but the pure consciousness, the reality. So we are transcending that neti neti. We are coming into Anvaya now. Because ultimately we have to get there only. Adi Shankaracharya created another step there because we were not able to see the unified principle in everything. So he had to create neti neti so that you come to yourself, and from here then you expand further. One should be able to stand apart and watch the subject which is created with reference to the object. What does that mean? It means be the man, watch the husband, the thoughts of the husband, the feelings of the husband, the disposition of the husband I appear with reference to the object wife. Then watch, if you are alert, that husband drops away. The moment your attention goes to your children, the husband drops away. Now with reference to the object called the child, the father comes up, the I appears, subject appears as the father. Then father drops away, then the grandchild comes. Again the husband has been dropped to give way to father. Now father drops to give way to grandfather. And this is going on. Where is this going on? In the mind. Subject-object game is going on continuously. That subject-object is waker and waking world, dreamer and dream world, grandfather and grandchildren, father and children, husband and wife. But don't give heed to it. Don't give too much importance to it. Then what do I do? Remain a witness, silent witness. One should be able to stand apart and watch the subject which is created with reference to the object. Then alone will one go beyond the bondage of subject-object relationship. This subject-object relation, identification with the subject-object relationship, and then accepting yourself to be the subject with reference to the object, that is where we are going wrong. See, yesterday I was at the Sai temple, Maharudra is going on. So I chanted 11 times Rudram. But as I am chanting, after 2-3 Rudrams, the mind is in automatic mode. The Rudram is going on in my mind. And I am watching. I am not fighting. Normally, I don't remember the Rudram. But sitting there, I was amazed, in wonderment, that array, my mind knows the Rudram. And it is going on automatically. And I'm watching. I'm not fighting it. What is going to come next? Will I remember the next line or not remember the next line? The right intonation, the lower intonation, nothing. It's just going on. If there was a mistake, I don't cry about it. Okay, no problem. I don't even say no problem or okay. Just keep going on. You are witnessing the whole thing going on. So what is that? You are witnessing the thoughts of Rudram going on in the mind. Nature of the mind is to think or not to think. That is what is going on every moment, isn't it? Either there is an appearance of thought or there is a manifestation of thought. And you are watching that. This is the goal we have to get to by doing the japa. This is where we need to get to by listening to satsang. The disposition of the witness. The great masters who were established in the vision were able to love the whole world without reason or logic because they had transcended the relative existence of cause and effect. Cause and effect is not the reality. Because I am married to my wife, therefore she is my wife and I am the husband. Wrong conclusion. Me and my wife gave birth to children, so we are the parents. A wrong conclusion. Matter gave birth to matter. Where did the life come from? Where did the life come from? In the womb, where did the life come from? Did you create that life? Did you make that child grow? So, when we normally in the name of duty, that I am doing my duty towards my family, I am doing my duty towards my parents, I am doing my duty towards my children. This is not duty, this is indulgence. This is extreme identification. And that's why we are not able to, we understand everything, but we are not able to realize. Why? Because of this identification. Then what we have to do? Here it says that the great masters were able to love the whole world. Not love my wife, my parents, my children, but love the whole world, full stop. That means the principle. Where is, and how is the whole world appearing? As thoughts. So you are not against any thought, you are not for any thought. You are not against any conviction, you are not for any conviction. Because you did not create the thoughts, it is happening. The moment you say that I should not have this thought or I should have that thought, immediately your like and dislikes are coming towards the thoughts. But if you come to Bhagavad Gita chapter 2 and as we go along, dhyayato vishayan punsa sangasteshu pajayate and all that, then we will talk a different tune. Because there it is basics. But this is PhD going on. More than PhD. We are transcending all concepts here in Amrutanubhav. So be careful not to mix what you have studied in the basics, that there they said this and how they are saying this, it's so confusing. No, it's not confusing. Understand the context in which you are studying right now. So life is not cause and effect. Because we are because we have a child, therefore we are the parents. Or because we are the parents, therefore we have a child. Egg came before or the chicken came before? That is the question. Cause and effect. The child says to parents, who called you parents before I was born? Nobody. So I am the cause, you are the effect. The parents say to the child, if we were not there, how could you be born? So you are the effect, we are the cause. Both are right. See, get out of it. Get out of it. Nothing is happening because of you. To have the feeling that because of me, the family is together, because of me, the children are growing, because of me, I am able to keep up my health. I didn't do the right things, therefore my health is not right, etc. So I keeps coming and identification is happening. Watch, understand. that everything is a game of that pure consciousness. We want to heal the body, we want to fix the body, we want to fix the mind by taking drugs or alcohol, etc. Why? We are identified. That's why. You take this position and watch everything just happening, then you are truly healthy. Then body is not an issue. Whether it is healthy or unhealthy, it does not matter. That same Ramana Maharshi, who was very healthy once upon a time, had cancer towards the end, but it did not matter to him. Swami Ram Sukdas of Gita Ashram in Rishikesh, he had throat cancer and used to give lectures as much as he could. And it did not bother him. Cancer is for the body, not for me. And eventually, I am cancer also. See? But he does not keep saying that. If someone probes, then they will come up with that statement. Otherwise, they're just silent. ठीक है, body is doing what it has to do, the mind is doing what it has to do, the senses are doing what they have to do, and the consciousness, what it has to do? It has to do nothing. It has to just be. It has to just be. It doesn't have to do anything. In fact, mind is also not doing anything. There also thoughts are happening. Eyes are also not doing anything. There also vision is happening. There is no doer there. Everything is taking place. This is this transformation within ourselves to see that everything is just taking place. That is true health. That is abundance. This vision of the absolute about the relative is called spiritual unfoldment or open eye meditation. See? This vision of the absolute without the relative. So relative is there, but your attention is not on the relative, your attention is on the substratum. And that substratum, I am. That is the pure consciousness. And life is still going on. That state which supports the relativity without getting influenced by the relativity is absolute being. That state which supports the relativity without getting affected, influenced, enslaved by relativity is the state of absolute reality. And if you take one step back within yourself, you will watch, just as I said before, the nature of the eyes is to see, the ears is to hear, the tongue is to taste, the nose is to breathe or smell, heart is to pump the impure blood into pure blood, the heartbeat is going on. You didn't create the heartbeat. The flow of the blood is by itself going on. Digestion is going on, evacuation is going on, blinking is going on, everything is going on. What have you done? Nothing. You are not doing anything, so where is the question of doer? But we believe that I am doer, I have to now undo all this what I have been doing. But in the first place, you are not the doer. It's all happening. Just recognize it, that's all. And live in that recognition. And it's not recognize here in the class and then forget afterward. No, remain in that recognition that nothing is, I am not the doer, I am the pure consciousness. These are initial steps. that everything is taking place by itself. The sun is rising, the sun is setting, the eyes are blinking, the hiccup is coming, the sneeze is coming, everything is taking place when and where, how it has to take place. If it is true about this body, then will it not be true about the whole world, whole creation? Or do we have to control and manipulate the creation? No. Watch. You just take a step back within yourself and watch the game. Like you watch the TV, you watch the game. When you watch the IPL match, you get excited with the six and you jump out of your seat if someone gets clean bowled. Here, you are not doing anything. You are watching the game, but there is no reaction. You're just as you are. Witnessing. This thought is reflected in the Panchadashi, where reference is made to Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti. Relative existence, which is Jiva Srishti, will always be tinged with unhappiness. One can never expect absolute joy from the relative perception. So, Srishti means creation. So, what is that saying? It is called Ishvara's creation and Jiva's creation. Where does Ishvara's creation begin and conclude? Ishvara's creation begins when that one Paramatma became Ishvara and Prakriti. From there, Ishvara appeared with reference to Prakriti. Why did he appear as two, Ishvara and Prakriti? That is happening. Nothing can be done. Then that Prakriti, that potentiality started multiplying, became Trigunatmika, creator, maintainer, destroyer, etc., the Virat Roop. And having created the Virat Roop, the consciousness expressed through that Virat Roop, till here is the Ishvara Srishti. Ishvara Srishti is, in other words, Ishvara Srishti is form is created and life is expressing through that form. Is till here is Ishvara Srishti. Every child is a Ishvara Srishti. Then where is Jiva Srishti? Identification with that form is Jiva Srishti. Now what is happening? I am identified, I am enslaved by that form, I think I am only this form, not other forms. Jiva Srishti begins. So what is the difference between Ishvara Srishti and Jiva Srishti? Ishvara is undisturbed, unaffected, uninfluenced, unenslaved by his creation. Individual, Jiva, he is affected, influenced, enslaved, entrapped by his creation. His creation, Jiva's creation is where? In his mind. He is he is thinking, he is the mind, he has to control his mind. Ishvara is just allowing, he is just watching. He is the eternal witness. And that is your position also, but you are not remembering that, you are not recognizing that, you are not being that. All the three states come and go. You know that. Then why don't you be that? Why do you precipitate yourself into an individuality and take the waking individuality as the only real one? Are you only the waker? You are also the dreamer, you are also the sleeper, you are also the pure consciousness. Why you have invested only in the waking plane? And in the waking plane only in one particular form. As long as this is going on, realization is far, 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 far away. Moksha is far away. Jiva must dissolve. Meaning, identification must dissolve. Then, in place of identification, witnessing will begin. Immediately, you are at Ishvara Srishti. And because we are talking about Srishti, therefore, we are saying witness. But if you maintain that position for some time, the Srishti will dissolve. When you maintain your attention on the sleep for some time, the world dissolves, isn't it? Principle is the same. You have to remind, you have to keep reminding, you have to keep taking that position. This thought is reflected in the Pancha. Okay. The Jiva, one can never expect absolute joy from the relative perception. Relative means finite. Finite means that which is temporarily appearing. From temporary, you can never get absolute permanent joy. So to think I will get life is incomplete without the joy of grandchildren, without the joy of children, without the joy of husband or wife or parents. The life is incomplete without these emotional feelings about everyone. Then good luck. If you succumb to the emotions, if emotions are guiding you, if emotions are dictating to you, we are going the wrong way. Nothing wrong with feeling emotions. Who is feeling emotions? Mind. Pure consciousness does not feel emotions. Pure consciousness is just is. You don't decide when you go to the temple and the puja is going on, it's so beautiful, or the statue of the Lord is so beautifully decorated. You don't pre-decide and go, I'm going to close my eyes when I go to the Lord. It automatically happens. See? So don't expect eternal joy, eternal abidance while maintaining validity of the multiplicity. Don't. You can never. This perception of the relative experience without the consequence of relativity. See the words that Swamiji has used. This perception of the relative experience, that means the subject interacting with the object, relative experience, without the consequence of relativity. Although functioning through the relativity is called yoga bhumika. Just as the Lord says in the ninth chapter, Maya tatamidam sarvam jagadavyakta murtina, the Lord says, I am not affected by the plurality. I am not influenced by the reality. I am not expressing through the relativity. I am not affected by the relativity. Yet I am supporting the relativity and I am transcendental to the relativity. So these words are indicating a state, and there is a contradictory language there. He is supporting but not supporting. He is talking about relativity, but there is no relativity. He's the absolute, but he's saying I'm supporting the relativity and I'm not affected by the relativity. When this type of language is used, then I'm I'm the I'm pervading the relativity without without pervading. I'm conscious of the relativity without being conscious. I'm knowing the whole relativity without knowing. This is the language you can use. And this is what is happening to you also. If we are ready to give up the individual Jiva Srishti. This is through reality is called Yoga Bhumika, or the state of supreme self-realization. This self-realization is not in terms of I am realized, not others, but of I alone is the reality, and if I am realized, there is none in my eyes who is not realized. This theme of Yoga Bhumika, introduction introduction to the union with the Lord, is initiated in OV 185 and is the theme of the next 17 OVs. These are methods of meditation. Each OV deserves to be taken in the same spirit and depth of the contemplation in which Jnaneshwar Maharaj expounded it. So now from the 186th onwards, 185th onwards, for 17 verses, that how we are, the Ishwar and Prakriti are one. That is going to be shown, and each verse, I think what he's saying is meditation, and so realizing the Lord, realizing the self, realizing the Ishvara, the vision must transform. It is in the yoga, in the Sankhya yoga, if I realize, I alone realize, others are still ignorant. But in the true sense here, and that is the correct way. What is that? If I realize that I am the infinite consciousness, the vision has transformed, the vision has become divined, then how can anything else remain unrealized? How can it? Then mind is divine, thoughts are divine, the seer and seen are divine, and the instrument is divine. Why it is divine? Oh, but then you're talking about multiplicity. That is for communication purpose. When the light happens, when I switch the light here, the light happens, then the darkness cannot remain. There is only illumination. There is no darkness possible. Similarly, when the inner light, the inner vision gets switched on, then the ignorance was not there only in the first place. But if we want to even use that word ignorance, what is ignorance? Relativity is ignorance. I am an individual is an ignorance. I give validity to subject, object, and instrument of knowledge and forget that I am the pure consciousness. Inner illumination is that I am the pure consciousness, and all that is happening, the Triputi, the mind, the forms, the names, everything is nothing but that pure consciousness. This all-encompassing vision coming about due to the inner transformation. Thereafter, there is no multiplicity left For whom? For whose vision has transformed. The inner eye has opened up. Don't be like Arjuna who got afraid after getting the inner vision. Be the Krishna. In this way, so these are the methods of meditation, and we will look at those 17 verses, not as we go along, in the next class. This is enough for today. He has taken examples, and then Swamiji's commentary is just exemplary. Absolutely wonderful. We could have never understood the words of the Jnaneshwar Maharaj if there was no commentary by Swamiji, our Swamiji on it. We are able to appreciate it so much because of that. Contemplate in this manner and be. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnahat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.